What is one quality in a candidate of hundreds that stands out to you?
Something weird, something stupid, something silly, something about you.
Hi, my name is Baltazar Arnedo. I'm with the WyoTech Career Service Department, and we're here at the WyoTech Career Fair with over 116 employers and over 1,000 interviews being conducted. Casey, how is conducting a job interview like dating?
Well, just like dating, especially if it's a new date, it's a first impression. What we know of you is next to nothing walking in the door other than what you have on your resume. So you have to come into it knowing that you're going to be explaining yourself. You're going to be talking about who you are as a person, who you are as a professional in this particular career field. And so you want to make sure that you're always, keeping that in mind when you're having that conversation.
Everybody would love the first second date.
Yeah, AKA the job.
And I have one question for you guys. What quality in a candidate stands out to you?
Oh, well, being eager to learn, ready to accept challenges, and wanting to learn and grow personally and professionally.
Well said. And what about you, sir?
Come dressed professionally, be coachable, and willing to accept that you don't know everything.
We're looking for hungry applicants, students running back and forth between several booths in the interview booth. That just displays their hungriness for work. That is the biggest thing that we look for in applicants is their willingness to work and hungriness to learn.
One for me is coming up, meeting the person that's trying to hire you and asking a bunch of questions about their company. If you just come up, be like, hey, I'm looking for a job. You're not really interested in the company, you just want a job. Ask questions like, hey, what do you guys do? What kind of engines do you work on? Where do you travel? What do you do for us? Kind of thing.
Want to get the full picture of what you guys have to offer.
Exactly. You got it.
Just be prepared. Go online, research the company a little bit. When you ask someone, why did you apply to work here? What part of our business really spoke to you? And if they have a good answer, say, hey, I see you have 10 locations throughout the state of Montana. I love Montana, or I love working on John Deere equipment. Looking at just a little bit of our about us, we're a family-owned dealership. So if they can speak a little bit to that, that goes a long ways. Like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of time or energy to do a quick 5-minute research online. And so I think that really stands out that they went above and beyond and they know about me. And then the other thing is just ask questions too. Don't be intimidated. If say, hey, what questions do you have of us? And you say, hey, I want to know about the benefits package, or what does a normal workday look like, or something like that. So having questions at the end, I think, speaks volumes. This is their livelihood. This is going to be potentially their career. I mean, you should have questions. You should have concerns like, what's my future going to look like? What's the career path? How do I promote? How do I move up? So I think those things really stand out.
I think the biggest thing for us is that student that comes with the thought of looking at this as a career and what that path looks like. Very seldom do the students ask, hey, what does my career path look like? And having that thought and that vision to think ahead is just not in the job mindset. Whereas if you look at this as a career, a lot of things that I like to ask the students is, where do you see yourself in a year? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? And what's your goal? Where do you want to end up during this career? And so it's having a mindset of, what the career path is, not just, hey, how much an hour do I make? What's your 401? All those things are important, the 401, the benefits, everything, and the pay is obviously important, but it's that thought process of, what does my path look like? Where do I start? Where am I at this stage? And how do I get to be a master tech? How do I get to be that master body collision technician? And having that vision, I would say, is one of the most important things for us.
Why is that important to you?
Well, it's important to us because we're approaching this as a career. We're not looking for a body. We're looking for someone to join our team and to be here 30 years from now. We have a lot of long-term employees. We're looking for somebody to join the family and build a career and grow within the organization and with the organization.
Dave, what is one quality in a candidate of hundreds that stands out to you?
Honestly, something weird, something stupid, something silly, something about yourself, something personal that is unusual, that is definitely different. It could be a lot of different things. It could be just a hobby or something off of the technical side of things, off of being a mechanic, something about you. It's just being able to one-on-one with you and talk to you about yourself on a personal level. So you're going to be able to fit into the fold of our company.
Kind of building that cohesive unit.
Yes, indeed.
I would have have to say confidence. So when they're able to actually have a conversation with us and talk about their past and talk about why they're passionate about being a technician and pursuing this route, it really stands out over someone that kind of doesn't really answer questions or yes or no type of answers.
What's one question that you ask candidates that kind of helps you find that gem?
I would have to say we'd ask them about their idle hands. So if I were to give a candidate, you have 30 minutes between now and the next car coming in, what would you do at that time? And we're looking for answers such as, oh, I'd go clean the shop, or I'd want to go talk to the master technicians and help them with what they're working on. Looking for people that take that initiative to prove they're here to work, they're here to grow, they're here to be part of our team, versus somebody who would kind of just want to sit off in the corner or they'd go be on their phone or something. We're looking for the people that want to take that step and say, nope, I'm here to learn. I'm proving my place here.
I think a good candidate is a candidate that is very confident and excited about the job and the career field and being here, excited to talk to us, but also is really able to articulate their experience very, very well in a conversation.
If a student doesn't have confidence in an interview, what can they do to kind of build that up?
Part of it is preparation. When you know you're going to be going into an interview scenario, think about ultimately what you're going to talk about. You're telling a story to an employer. It has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when you have that conversation, think of what are those certain job highlights that I want to talk about that really showcase who I am. Kind of go over them in your head, how you're going to tell that story, and that's going to make it more comfortable for you, and it's also going to make it more conversational. I think a lot of students also are scared about the fact that an interview kind of feels like a judgment. It feels like you're basically on trial. And the truth of the matter is, you're telling the story of who you are to us. And really, we want to be involved in that as much as we can. So if you're feeding us that conversational content, just like a podcast, we're going to feed that right back to you in the conversation. Practice your stories, practice how you're going to talk about the experience.
And then treat it as a conversation.
And treat it as a conversation, yeah. Yep, mindset of that too is just go into it thinking, this is a conversation. I'm having a conversation with this employer. And I think that will really help with not only having you come across confident, but also have you feeling more comfortable throughout the conversation and more excited to hear back then in the end about the interview and how things went.